we are living in Kaliyuga, and as we know that many people actually performs dark magic and tantra vidya, which we have discussed in our previous episode. So if you have not listened to that particular podcast, make sure to check it out because it's very interesting according to me. And also our analytics shows that it's the most popular or most demanding episode of our channel. So make sure to check it out. But as we know that we are living in Kaliyuga, and we have discussed about Kaliyuga in our previous episodes also. But in this episode, we will be extending informations to beyond limits, and we will try to explain things as much as understandable and as much as interesting possible. So listen this particular episode till end and get maximum possible information about Kaliyuga and Kalki, especially from this particular episode of Knowell series. So let's understand that has Kaliyuga happened before? So answer is yes. According to Hindu mythology, it happened before actually. And not even just Kaliyuga. This group of all 4 yugs called Chaturyug is actually happened very much times that you can't even imagine. So if we calculate all this Kalp and Brahma's life and his all days and all this stuff according to ancient Indian culture or Ved, you will get a number which is 1,78,93,457, which actually represents the number of Kaliyug passed away since the beginning of this universe. So it's very huge number, as you know. It actually represents the cycle of this particular yuga. So this is how actually universe works, and it's interesting that how our ancient Indian culture represents all this stuff because it's very major number. I am very much sure that there is no any other religion which actually represents any kind of universe or time in this much scale of numbers or this much scale of large concepts. Anyways, we are leading to a part of life where we are becoming oblivion to our life. Along with that, according to great myths that are being followed by our great grandfathers, are being ignored and creating a life without a perspective. Over the years, according to the fast life, we are living and forgetting the true meaning of our life, which is very true. And the people who have been provided with the capabilities are being hired by the strong entities which can actually destroy this particular universe. So they do actually their foolish work and making their life obscure by these smart or this kind people. Not only this, the people who are left with the future generation entirely dependent on the technology and neglecting the ways of life that has followed by previous generation and will never be able to find the true meaning of enlightenment, which is actually far enough, and it's far enough to actually explain that we are changing the definition of universe actually, and that is why universe can actually get worse. And this condition you can understand just by seeing this climate changes and global warming and these all concepts. Anyways, now let's talk about Kalki. So what does actually Kalki mean? Kalki is Hindu deity known as the mighty warrior. He is listed as the 10th and final of the main incarnation of Vishnu. Those 10 main avatars of Vishnu are collectively known as the Sautara. A prominent god in most Hindu traditions, Vishnu is the supreme deity. He is in the Vaishnava tradition and he forms the Hindu trinity with Brahma and Shiva. Kalki is sometimes translated from Sanskrit as eternity, which is also an interesting word from which we can actually make different theories. Unlike Vishnu's other 9 incarnations, Kalki has yet to arrive, but is expected to appear at the end of the current era, or also known as KALIYUGA. The 9 other main avatars of the Sautara may vary by region and tradition, but they typically include this list, which I will be saying right now. So first one is Matsya, which is fish. Then Korma, which is tortoise. Then Varaha, which means boar. Then Narsimha, which is man and lion blending or mixture, kind of. Then Vaman Avatar, which is dwarf. Then comes Parsurama, which is angry, behaving man. Okay, so as you know that Parsurama has actually very dark or crucial history. You can understand it by reading some ancient Indian scriptures. And also we are thinking to make separate podcast on this particular topic about Parsurama. Anyways, the next one is Ram, who was the perfect man. Then comes Balram, but here is a controversy. So there is confusion between Balram and Krishna. So each avatar of God Vishnu is actually controversial topic, and not even just eighth, ninth one is also controversial topic. So it's considered as Balrama or Krishna. So I'm not saying a particular incarnation, but there are these two possibilities. Then comes Krishna or Buddha or Jagannath. So there is these three possibilities, and there is even one more entity which I don't remember right now. So we will be making separate podcast on this particular thing actually, because it's very interesting that how things actually gets changed when you go in other location, in other religion or even region. So these are typical incarnation which are considered to be the avatars of Vishnu, who is Supreme God. Okay, now let's talk about the predictions for Kalki avatar. So Kalki avatar is the one who ends darkness. He is Vishnu's 10th and final avatar. He is to be born when the world will suffer from all bads and we will be under Kali, the ruler of this Yuga. He is said to be born at the end of this Yuga. So Kalki will be born in Sambhala village to Vishnu Yasa, who is the chief of that particular village. He will ride on his horse, and with his sword skill, he will kill all the bad and evil ones and bring happiness and peace again. This will remark the beginning of Satyuga again, and that's where the Yuga of truth comes into play. In Mahabharata, Krishna said that when evil is rampant upon this earth, I will take birth in the family of virtuous men and assume a human body to restore tranquility by the extermination of all evils. For the preservation of rectitude and morality, I will assume an inconceivable human form, and also in the Kali age of sin, I will assume an avatar form that is dark in color. I will be born in a family in South India. This avatar will possess great energy, great intelligence, and great powers. So this was what actually Krishna said in Mahabharata. And what is Lord Kalki actually waiting for? So he is waiting for the last leg of Dharma to break. If you think that the world currently is in disarray and doomed, then you are mistaken. We still have a lot of good people trying to do so many good things and stay on the path of righteous. When there is complete evil things and the evil will feel that it has no opposition, that's where the Lord Kalki will come. But a little bit of advice that please do not wait for the Lord and try to avoid it as much as possible. If you want to actually know about this particular thing in detail, then you must check out a web series called Asur, which has this particular concept of evil person and good person in the same human. So that is very interesting topic. In past yugas, devil actually tried to capture the earth, but in Kaliyuga, the devil will not just think about capturing the earth, but he or she will actually think about capturing the human mind. which has the most powerful technology and techniques to actually destroy Earth. So as you know, we have already discovered the atomic bomb, which can even destroy every human on Earth just in seconds. So that is what actually Kali will use. So there are other informations about Lord Kalki. So Lord Kalki will be born in Sambal village. Also, Kalki will be the fifth child of his parents. His father name would be Vishnu Yasa and mother will be Sumati. Kalki Avatar is going to be immaculate and ultimate divine. He will be endowed with divine qualities. He will ride a white horse and will himself be very fair. However, anger will change his color to black. Kalki can only be the one whose birthday or Tithi falls on Dwadasi of Shukla Paksha. So now let's talk about very interesting theories. So we have 3 theories to discuss. To understand this particular situation, we need to consider these all 3 theories and these possibilities which can help us to understand Kalki Avatar. So first of all, the first situation is that the Kalki Avatar is actually born. The second possible theory is that he is not born, and the 3, which is interesting, that he is born, but if you want to consider it. So now let's talk about the first situation, which is he has born. So the Kalki Avatar, according to Kalki Puran, will be born when the moon will be in Dhanishta Nakshatra. The sun will be in Swati, the nakshatra of the sword, etc. So such astrological arrangement were present in 2012. So he might have been born at that particular time. It's just that we don't know about it. So this is first theory. The second theory is that probably he has not born yet because of his birth is predicted when the earth purges into darkness, when the 3 great rivers Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati ascend back to heaven, which actually means that they will become dry. At the end of KALIYUGA, they will become dry and KALIYUGA will at its peak, which is called as Ghor KALIYUGA. So this particular situation is not created or developed yet. So we can say that he is born actually. Third and very interesting situation is that he is born if you consider him born. So there is one concept that there is God in everyone and there is Asur in everyone. So there is good and bad part in every human. So according to that particular theory, there is God in you also, in me also, and everyone on this planet also. But also there is Kali, which is actually the demonic part of this whole world, is also in our body. You must have heard about Parsuram's immortality. So it's been told that when Kalki will be incarnated, then Parsurama will teach Kalki to use all the powers, and that's where speciality comes, and actually Kalki will follow his rule to control the world, and after taking control to world, he will of course end KALIYUGA and develop Satyuga, and this cycle will repeat. So that's it in this particular episode. I hope you loved it, and if you're liking this particular episode and our work, then you can check other episode of this Knowell series and our channel. Also make sure to subscribe us and follow us on social media platforms so that maximum people can reach out our channel and can experience this particular podcast, so that they can also get this underrated knowledge of ancient Indian cultures and scriptures. Thank you so much for listening to me. I will meet you in next episode.